The conditions are spotty, but you know what? We'll see what's going on. And today, what we have is some teams that we thought would be coming in a little bit better, especially like Lewis Hamilton today. We thought probably a little bit higher, but we'll see what happens. Also, I would say that today I am doing my best "you're a dumbass" impersonation. If you're walking around like this and you think this is cool, you're a dumbass. The guy who fooled you is a dumbass. The guy who you're thinking all of a sudden is a superhero and is the best presidential candidate you've ever seen is a dumbass. And if you think this makes you cool, you're a dumbass. I mean, goodness gracious, people. Go for anything, buy for $1, shut the hell up. You got to be shitting me. He's not the guy. And if you think he cares about you, you're wrong. But guess what? We got some positive things going on today. Today, we got the Hungarian GP. We are in qualifying, and it looks like Aston Martin might be indeed a force to be reckoned with, okay? It looks like they might be a force to be reckoned with. As we sit right here and take a look, we see that Lando Norris and Pia, both a 1 and 2 coming right out of qualifying, looks to be pretty promising. Verstappen in third, but do keep in mind Verstappen was indeed running hard compound tires. He did slip into the softs a little bit later. As you see, they were running hard compound tires earlier, and he's still in their third, okay? So this could indeed be a Lando Norris, Pia, Max Verstappen battle out. Russell sitting right there fourth. Hamilton a bit low, just after collecting a first win since 2021, and also people anticipating that this would likely be a circuit that we would likely see Hamilton perform well in. It doesn't look like that might be the case, but it is still very early. We do have mixed conditions. We all know that Hamilton is a master of the rain. All cars, everything is set right now. Nobody's got really revs up except for Valtteri and Zhou, so I guess somebody does have revs up. We got Ricciardo coming on alive right there. But as it sits right there, Ricciardo also leading Yuki by a couple of positions right here coming out of FP3. Some things we'll talk about with Yuki going a little bit more forward maybe in the day. I just want to be fully transparent with you right now. We do have a race. I am really squeezing this in right now. I'm squeezing it in, and it's not going to be ideal today. So there won't be any quality kickback trivia. We're going to sit here. We're going to see what's going to happen. I think we're going to have a very exciting qualifying. I will also tell you that as soon as this is over, I'm going to have to get my ass off here. It's raining like hell. I got to still work on the cart. I got to load things up. We got to get on the road. Rain's going to slow us down. It's going to be a very horrible day, a very challenging day out there. The day can still be good depending on how we finish. Very challenging today as for the family and racing today. As the thunderstorms and it is raining a butt ton. So we'll see what happens, all right? So big shout out to everybody coming in right now. First in the chat, Mary Beanie, how you doing? I see Mary Beanie was you first in the chat. Mary Beanie was first in here. We do got Galactus, we got Mimi, we got Dave. So big shout out to everybody that's tuning in right now as we're going to watch this qualifying round together and see how this all turns out. Mimi, congratulations on, I see you purple up there. So purple sector's right there for Mimi. Nice to see you. Don't forget the purple sector's hat. Big shout out to you. So let's see what's going on. We got drivers changing. We do have things going on right now as they are in pit out. I'm going to be very surprised if we see Mercedes have another GP, because right now we're going back to back, right? Back to back, good situation for Mercedes. If we have another good situation for Mercedes, I will be surprised. I do at some point in time in this season think it's going to be still very up and down. Still very up and down for Mercedes. I don't think that anybody should expect a consistent amount of dominant type performance in this latter part of the season. But if it does happen, I'm ready for it. I'm excited for it if it does happen. I think more of the anticipated excitement should be for McLaren. Although McLaren have done a fine job at completely screwing things up. They've screwed up on the pit stop several times, which I believe have cost their drivers not only more points, but race wins. They screwed it up this last past time by leaving Oscar out, not double stacking, and again, overextending. McLaren just seems that they can't understand the mistakes of their ways and the punishment and consequences that they've ultimately suffered because of these horrible decisions. So I just want to know, what is it going to take for McLaren to understand? Don't do that. Do this. Because when you did this, good results happened. When you did that, it sucked for you. So I don't know what it's going to take, but I mean, good gracious, is I don't know. But anyway, cars are going out on slicks right now. I see soft compound tires all around the pit out. So right now, conditions aren't that bad. As you see right here, right now, we have 4 kilometers an hour winds due south. We got 29.7 Celsius, 24.3 Celsius air temp, and 64% humidity. I know where I'm from and where I am. If we have 64% humidity, it's probably going to rain. It is raining. It is raining. If we're under about 40%, give or take, could be spotty, could be here, there, not where you are. But if we're seeing 60%, it's going to rain. And I'm expecting rain about 1600 here, which will put us about in the middle of the race event for us today. And it is going to be a back and forth thing between slicks, between tread, between slicks, between wets, between slicks, so what. So we're going to be kind of going through a similar situation today here in America as they are in Hungary. So we'll see how we fare with that. And as you see right here, if it's your first time joining us, there is a drop-off zone right here. If this was to close off, Hamilton would be gone. Leclerc, potentially both Ferrari teammates, Sainz, Perez, and Alonso would be out of there. I know something else that a lot of people are looking for is to see, is Alonso going to actually fall victim to Stroll again? That's something that we've been seeing. We've been seeing that Alonso has not been outperforming Stroll. So it's a little bit questionable, a little bit funny. So we'll see what happens there. Right now, as it sits coming out of the gate, Alonso's in front of Stroll, so we'll see if that still continues. We got Yuki sitting at the top, but that probably won't last long. Yuki having a bit of a situation earlier, which we'll talk about that. You can see it right there on track. We'll talk about that. But also, James Vowles speaking as to Logan Sargeant and his absence of being with the team next season. I still think James Vowles is a very, very, very decent person for how he is handling the Logan Sargeant situation. And I'm being serious when I say that. He literally is very, very gentle with this whole thing. Very gentle with it. He's still knowing, yes, I've been transparent with us looking around the driver market, but I also, and everybody also needs to understand that Logan is still a part of Williams, and we will treat him as so and give him the support he needs while he is with us. James Vowles to me is just I would like to have James Vowles as my team principal. If he's a hard team principal, I can deal with that because at least he's upfront and transparent with me. And I think Logan Sargeant, I don't think anybody's going to say you didn't get a fair shake. James Vowles, in a market where rookies were doing phenomenal things in a very small window and being rewarded or accolades handed out prematurely maybe, James Vowles gave you an opportunity where some were getting cut and thrown to the wayside, Logan. So I don't think Logan's ever going to be able to come and say, I don't think his fans are going to be able to come and say that James Vowles didn't give him a fair shake. Yeah, he did. He gave him more than a fair shake, and Logan just did not pan out, didn't do well, and it is what it is. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, it sits. We do have Alonso in 7th, Stroll in 11th, and that is looking a bit more typical to what we're accustomed to seeing with these teammates. Right now, we got 12 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Russell's in 13th. Lewis Hamilton is in 20th. He has a couple of segments to finish. We're going to see where he pops to after fit. Bow! Boo! 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 Lewis Hamilton, popping to the top of the charts. Can you say, yee? There he goes, up to the top, 117. Nice one right there. From the bottom to the top. Lewis Hamilton goes, we do have a yellow flag going on right now. Hopefully that clears fairly fast. Nobody's off track and just halted, but it hasn't cleared just yet, so we'll see what happens with that yellow flag. Yo, that was nice. Lewis Hamilton to the top of the chart. Sainz in 2nd place. Leclerc. Do we need to talk about Leclerc? Charles is doing Charles-type things right now. Charles is doing Charles-type things right now. I'm telling you, the more and more this season goes on, the more and more I question if this audition of Ferrari to Lewis Hamilton and his fans and the spectators of Ferrari is being a failure. I'm not confident. I'm losing. I'm not going to say I'm not confident because I do have some confidence in Ferrari, but I am losing confidence in not only Ferrari, but Charles Leclerc as it sits as him being a driver. He is, to me, just being outperformed by Sainz on a nice, consistent basis, and he's still making these mistakes, whether if you want to attribute it to the track or to just a small margin of error or to Charles Leclerc pushing unbelievably too hard and just not knowing the limits of the car. These are mistakes that happen to be always with Charles Leclerc. And I have to say that it is causing my ambition. It's causing my confidence to be diminished incrementally. It's not that to say that it can't be built back up, but I'm just saying Ferrari is tick, 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 tick. I'm just saying, can we get a tick, 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 tick up that way? That's what I would like. I would really appreciate that because right now, nobody wants to think that Lewis Hamilton is about to leave a situation with a car in Mercedes and jump into a situation with another bad car from Ferrari. Logan Sargeant doing his thing off the track, showing why he is not going to be with the team and showing why James Vowles is making all the right decisions. Mary Beanie said, I did say, Jay, I'm taking Lewis for pole and win. Okay, Mary Beanie, all right. I think that's worth a poll. I think that is worth a poll, Mary Beanie. I think that we should ask how many people are taking Lewis Hamilton for pole and the win. I think that's worth a poll. All right, let's see how many people are with you, Mary Beanie. All right, here we go. Poll in the chat. Don't dance on it. Just vote on it. Mary Beanie having a super chat that I think is poll worthy. How many are taking LH for pole and the win? I'm pretty sure that first vote was Mary Beanie, and she probably hit that up. Right here, here we go as we are coming around the 10-minute mark. We're going to have a lot of these cars start to come back into the pit to make some adjustments and changes. Right now, Lewis Hamilton is still at the top of the charts. Now, do remember, many people, and it is known, Lewis Hamilton, this is a circuit where he has been known to put his print on. Sainz, Verstappen in third. I am looking for the McLaren boys. Well, I don't want to call them the McLaren boys because I started coining the Ferrari boys, which they still would be that next season. I still think the Papaya crew should give us some resemblance of what we saw at FP3. If not, then that says a lot about the teams making some changes, coming back into quali form and showing that, hey, while they were running in their qualifying form, which is the best they can do, we were not. And now you will see our qualifying form. And if we don't see Piastri, we don't see Lando popping to the top of these charts, Q2, Q3 at all, and this is kind of where they float, 4 and 6, 5 and 6, 5 and 7, then I don't know what you can expect in the race, but McLaren still can come alive, so I'm not going to discount them completely just yet. Paul says, smash that like and subscribe. Peace and love. What's going on, Paul? Peace and love to you, my brother. Good to see you out here. Good to see you out there. Peace and love to you. Let me clean some of these up right here on the super chats. Bow, bow, bow. Let me get Paul, my brother Paul, as he just topped in right there. Bow, bow, bow for you, Paul. Big shout out to everybody with the super chat game. By the way, we will be having another drawing coming soon. I will gather the super chats from the triple header and even this race. I'll go ahead and probably include this race, and we'll have another raffle soon or drawing soon for a Formula One product. I'm not going to say what it is yet. It will be announced, and when we have that drawing, we'll bring that wheel up, spin that wheel, and we'll see who the lucky individual is that is going to get it. Big shout out to Maria Duncan purchasing a Butterfly Racing shirt, all right? Butterfly Racing right here. Saw that, Maria Duncan. Big shout out to everybody else who has purchased one of these shirts supporting the baby. Big shout out to DG Big Blue and Paul giving their gift cards up to support the racing season of the baby. Big shout out to everybody who was doing that. I really do appreciate it. Butterfly Racing, you can get that on the Wolfpack website. Links are below. Appreciate you much. All right, so let's see what else we got going on. Lewis Hamilton's still at the top, and he's in the pits. This is, now, do keep in mind, Oh my gosh, we got a red flag. Oh my goodness. We got a red flag. And by the way, also, Lewis Hamilton, inclement conditions, and this is where he does shine. He is the rainmaster. Perez having a near miss earlier, not at his fault, but Zhou's fault. And now it looks like Perez comes in and parks the car in the kitty litter. Oh my gosh. Perez not parks the car. He wrecks the car. The car is wrecked. The car is done. What's up, Wolfpack fam? Dodge man. What's up, my brother? Oh my gosh. Perez has just screwed it. He has just screwed the pooch. It is. What are we about to see with Perez, yo? What are we about to see? Are we about to see Perez part of the mid-season swap? Are we about to see Perez part of this mid-season swap that may be about to happen? Perez is done. He is out in Q1 with 6 minutes and more still left on the clock. This is getting just entertaining, and I could imagine to some people annoying. That just looks bad. Oh my gosh, Perez. Big shout out Galactus in the chat. What's up, brother, man? Ensure frames popping in. Hey, this is way too early. I mean, this is way too early. I already told you all, I am no longer campaigning to protect, to defend Perez, although I will speak to illegitimate and disrespectful things that may be taking place in regards to his culture, ethnicity, his mind frame, his personality, things like that. But as it comes to Perez and doing things like this, free game, free ball game, have at it. I just will not understand, as you see right here, the hot news right here, Yuki coming out and can be quoted as saying it would be weird if Liam Lawson is given the Red Bull seat. And I agree. And I told you all this a couple of weeks ago. I'll find it quite disrespectful if Liam is given that seat and not Yuki based off what Yuki has been doing for the team. I told you. And I'm also going to say, this is why you likely see these radio messages now starting to pop up. Okay, don't rush me. Yuki, if we see Yuki's temperament and his tolerance and his patience start seeming to wear thin, this might be a very real thing that is going on. And I can imagine that it would piss him off, and rightfully so. I'm not wrong, and I'm not mad if it pisses Yuki off. Because if that was I, and I saw Liam Lawson get given the Red Bull seat after everything that I've shown you, I've been able to do, I've outperformed drivers that you put up against me, and you're gonna get Lim the seat? Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm hot. I'm 38 hot. Pow. 38 hammer revolver hot. I am. So what we'll see, what will happen, I don't know. Galactus says Sunday may have 2 red flags if this keeps going. Galactus, bro, I think that is poll worthy as well, because all through free practice and now the first part of qualifying, I think we've seen a car come off track in each one of those events. I could be wrong. If not more, not all, majority. I think we've seen a car come off track in majority of these events. I know we saw the FP3. So yeah, I'm with you. I think that's poll worthy. Right now, the current poll is how many are taking Lewis Hamilton for pole and the win. 80% of you said I am. 20% of you said not this time, which doesn't mean that you can't do it another time, but you're not feeling it right now. I think Galactus has bought us another super chat that is poll worthy. And let's see how many red flags you think we may have on Sunday. All right, here we go. Let's say we'll give some wide tolerance here. I think that's enough. I actually, you know what? I think we need to do a little bit less. I think we have enough room with red flags. Let's just not get out of hand with it. I doubt there are going to be 5 red flags. All right, here's a poll. Poll in the chat. Don't dance on it, just vote on it, or do both. Feel free to do what you would want to do. Yep. So they're going to be getting this off. It is still sprinkling down there. A little rain. You can see it on the camera. Nothing too egregious to the point where they have to go put on inters. So that's promising. Right now, the car is in a bit of, I think, of a kind of complicated place to get it out quickly. So I think we're going to be with this red flag for a few minutes. As of right now, we do have a poll up. Feel free to vote on that. Seems 40% of you are tied, 40-40. It is tied to 1 and 2, 20%. Oh, we just got a winner right there. 2, say 45% now say 2 would be the ideal scene that would be happening. Also, let's go ahead and look back right here. If we come to FP3, qualifying is not really mirroring this. We had both papaya cars at 1 and 2 in FP3, and now we have the papaya cars at 4 and 5. We had Max Verstappen where he is and where he currently is right now at 3, which is something to pay attention to, because if we see Max Verstappen consistently in 3rd or 4th position and not sitting at the top in a commanding fashion, you may be looking at another race where Max Verstappen is not the race winner. And if that does happen, imagine if you see Max Verstappen not on podium, which would be the 2nd race this season that he would not have made podium altogether. How much of you would feel, you know what? That might be another poll to put in there. But I'll ask that, how much of you would feel that maybe Max Verstappen could be challenged if the same driver takes podium 2 race wins more often than not, and Max doesn't? We need to look at the points gap and see how much of a margin Max Verstappen has, how much of a safety net he has. But right now, also looking at Sainz, still doing what Sainz was doing, a bit better. He was 5th in FP3. He's now 2nd in qualifying, and Leclerc is in 8th, which if that kind of stays true, that gap between them, Leclerc is consistently not doing as well. Then right there, we had it looks like at that point in time, Sargeant in 7th, and now Sargeant is in 7th again. Albon was in 7th here, and now Sargeant is in 7th, excuse me. Albon is sitting back in 11th. So we'll see how much of Sargeant is going to continue competing and pushing well here. Not doing so good already, but I would say being in the top 10 is still decent right now. We'll see how he finishes out. The body of work is not done. We still got 6 minutes and 45 seconds in Q1. Not out due to red flag. Track is clear at this point in time. I will show you that. And as we come further down, we see that Alonso and Stroll still looks like Aston Martin is struggling. Now, keep in mind, Aston Martin has bought they've bought a pretty wealthy amount of updates to the AMR. How will those updates turn out? That is what we all want to see, and hopefully what we will see. Galactus says if Red Bull lose constructors, it's clearly Perez's fault. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Maybe that's what Perez wants. Maybe Perez decides to show them that, hey, maybe you need me more than you think. But could it not still be true that we can get another driver to do a bit better than what you're doing and we might be safe in constructors? Maybe not, because I did tell you that constructors is up for grabs at this point in time. In my opinion, constructors is up for grabs at this point in time. And so much so that if this continues, it might be claimed by another team, and that team right now would not be Ferrari to me. It looks like to me that team would be McLaren, okay? Not too many points. I think 7 points or so behind Ferrari. I think if anybody, McLaren could do it. They got 2 strong drivers, 2 drivers that constantly compete and defend, but right now are drivers that have a team that keeps screwing them and are Oscar for the most part at this point in time. If they keep doing that, it's like the team is a detriment to the drivers. And as it sits right now, Lando would need these race wins that Lando has missed out on due to the team's mishaps. He's 84 points behind Max Verstappen, 84 points behind Max. Do keep in mind that Carlos is only 4 points behind Charles. So depending on how these Ferrari drivers finish out, we could see a swapping of Ferrari drivers in the championship driver standing. 4 points is not a big margin, especially if Charles Leclerc is going to keep doing what he's doing. And if he makes a mistake and falls outside of the top 10 in race day, which I highly doubt, but with what he's been doing, I'm not ruling it out. And Sainz finishes in the top 3, if he makes podium, yeah, it's going to be a swap, okay? And then I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people are going to be looking at Mercedes with the side eye like, did you keep the right guy? Are you sure you kept the right guy? I know upside, I know potential, I know age, I know all of that. But is this monogas driver really who you are? Is he kind of similar to Dak Prescott? He's good. He's a good quarterback within the quarterback market. But he's good enough to keep you in a situation where you don't want to dump him. You got to pay him, but you're not winning like you should with him. You're not winning like you should with some of these other quarterbacks are doing for their franchises. Is Charles Leclerc the Dak Prescott of Formula One to Ferrari? Is Charles Leclerc just good enough? He gives you a race win every now and then, does awesome in qualifying, but he's a detriment to your race plan. He makes these mistakes, but he's not as bad as all these other guys. He's still a top driver, and you're going to pay him and keep him at a point where it's like, do we just need to drop him and just take that chance? Anthony Carrier says the more Red Bull make cars to Max driving style, the more his teammates struggle. Anthony Carrier, brother, I think that's been an oversight not only on my part, but other people's part, that as the season goes on and this car gets more developed, and we've heard Alex Albon talk to it, Gasly make mention of it, I think you got a very good point, brother. I think you got a good point. The more his teammate struggles, he even helped with the new F1 game, and the handling was trash. Oh, my gosh. Bow. Shots fired. All right, shots fired. Let's see what we got. We're still pit in. Cars firing up. Track is clear. We got 5 minutes and 20-something seconds. The clock has started. Oof. You know what? I think that's poll worthy. You all are coming up with some super chats that are definitely poll worthy, man. Right now, 50% of you all say that one red flag is likely to happen on Sunday. Let's see if some of you would attribute this lack of performance of Perez to the development of the Red Bull car towards Max, okay? Let's see. All right, here we go. See what you think. See what you think. Is the development of the RB to Max hindering Perez? Yes or no? Don't worry about my spelling. You know what the hell I mean. Just get it in. All right, so here we are right here, under 5 minute mark. Right now, your drop-off area would be composed of Ricciardo, Stroll, Mag, Zhou, Hulk. All of Haas would be out of there. On the tail end, if Valtteri gets outperformed by Danny Rick, all of Stake will be out of there. So don't ask for any filet mignon. But if you know, right now Yuki is outperforming Danny Rick. So we'll see if that continues through Q1 and Q2, whichever one they get into. Stroll looking like Stroll is back. Maybe the whole cushion window for Stroll and Alonso is over. It's like, hey, Alonso, you need to go ahead and do your thing, man. Enough of the games, enough of the shenanigans. Right now, Alonso is outperforming Stroll by a large amount of gapping right there. If that ain't gapping, I'm capping. And like I told you, Team Stake is just going to be completely oblivious to a lot of people. Russell right now is Russell is where the hell is Russell? Russell's at 14th. Russell's 14th right now. Lewis Hamilton is still in the first position. This is going to be a wild time. This is going to be a wild time if Lewis Hamilton wins another race back to back. Those are Kendrick bars. I'm just saying, those are Kendrick bars. Back to back, we'll get back to that. If Lewis Hamilton wins another GP back to back, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. At that point in time, seeing what Russell might do, you know, we'll have to wait because it's got to go over time. If we see Russell not win another race, not be on podium in this Mercedes, and Lewis Hamilton is leaving, I think then there's still Mercedes is kicking themselves in the ass. I'll say, but I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm saying that if it happens, I think Mercedes is kicking themselves in the ass. At least some people in Mercedes, which we've had the Mercedes conversation. But this is still early. It's Q1. It's just a lot of hypothetical right now. We need to see Lewis Hamilton lock in pole position, and then Mercedes would not have to screw up the pit stop strategy. Of course, all of that has to come together. All of that has to come together. There it is. Russell pops over to 10th. So he's in the top 10. He's safe. He was safe regardless at this point in time. Under 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Drivers being under the red flag conditions have already went ahead and done what they're going to do a lot of time. Ooh, that was a nice drone view. That drone is nice how they doing that. Somebody who knows how to fly a drone now. Thank you very much. And anybody that said drones can't keep up with Formula One cars, you've been under a rock. Some of these drones fly well over 100 miles an hour, so just pump your brakes. They can. Some of these drones are very fast. Mick Schumacher on camera, still with Mercedes. Some people want to know what's going to happen with him. This is looking wild right now. Let's see what we got right here. It says yes. 89% of you say yes. Okay. All right. I'm not mad at that. I think Anthony Carrier brought up a very good point. We'll see what happens. Lewis Hamilton's still doing his thing. Let's see if any of this is going to change as we are underneath a minute at this point in time. We are underneath a minute, so let's see if any of this is actually going to change. Here we go, 30-something seconds. Ocon and Gasly in the back. If they continue that, they'll be out Q2. 20 seconds. Alonso is looking good. Alonso must be liking the new updates. To him, they might be upgrades. We'll see where Lance Stroll, it has not really improved at all. He is in 17th place. If that continues under 5 seconds, he will be out of there. So we're going to see what happens. Olympically, those segments. Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen popping up to 2, not able to beat Lewis Hamilton's time. And it really is the same time, but Lewis Hamilton laid it down first. So he will keep that position, and Max Verstappen will be in that second position. So, hey, there's the time to beat right there, 117.08. There goes Stroll, pops over to 4th place. A bit surprising for me, indeed. Indeed, Alonso and said, whoa, buddy, Ricciardo, what the hell, bud? Oh, man, Ricciardo beating both Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen's time. 117.05. McLaren boys fading to the back. We have Albon in the top 5. Logan Sargeant in the back half at 13th, but still safe. And right now, Zhou does not improve enough to get out of trouble, and he is out of there. Valtteri does, pushing Pia back to the back half of the successful just made it in party. Russell right now in 16th. Can he improve? No, Russell is going to be out in Q1. It looks like Russell is out in Q1. Perez is definitely out. He gives somebody, but really not. Yeah, he still does give somebody. He gives K-Mag. Zhou and all of Alpine is out of there. Holy crap. That Q1 knocked out portion to me is very surprising. Very surprising right there. Oh my gosh. Perez not surprising. Russell surprising. All of Alpine, I'm a little bit surprised. Haas makes it in. Hulk goes into the top 10. Yo, if you were talking crazy, boasting up Russell a lot, in spite of Lewis Hamilton, your mouth's a little tart because that crow pie tastes a little tart. Crow pie's a little tart. It's a little tart. You know, it's a little gamey. But oh my gosh. But hey, I want to say this. Let's look at this. Papaya 1 and 2 in FP3. Papaya 11 and 13th in a real qualifying session. Hey, I'm just saying, things are looking shaky, baby. Papaya got to do better than that in these next two sessions. Got to do better. Ricciardo popping over there to number one, though, was crazy. Definitely a big gap between he and Yuki. That's wild, yo. Jeez Louise. Imagine a Visa car on pole and Danny Rick commanding that car. Yikes! I mean, that's gonna be a party in itself. Almost like Bronny scoring 12 points in a G League game and Summer League and them celebrating. That's gonna be a party. Definitely gonna be a party. I'm gonna have to say that would be a party. Damn. Oh, I am a little bit taken by that. I'm a little bit like, hey, okay. Jay, my bro serving up slices of crow pie. Hey, bro, I'm just saying, bro, that crow pie can be a little bit, little bit gamey, a little bit sour, a little bit tart. You know, tart crow pie, it ain't ever great to eat, but, you know, sometimes you got to eat it. Sometimes you got to eat it. Big shout out to Paul. Yo, damn. All right, so there it is right there. We'll see what happens, what's going to go on, but goodness gracious, I'm a little bit kind of lost for words on that one. That what's going to happen in Q2? Are we about to see McLaren get eliminated in Q2 as a team? Could that be what is about to be brought before us? Matter of fact, I'm going to ask you all, what do you think? Do you think that that's a possibility? I'm going to ask you all, do you think that that's a possibility? Is it possible? Here we go. Poll in the chat. Do whatever you want to do with it at this point in time. Shit's looking wild. Is it possible that MCL could be out in Q2 as a team? That right there, I did not see that happen. I didn't see them that far back. I really didn't see after FP3 how well they performed. I didn't see them being this far back in Q1. And I know it's just Q1, but it seems like a lot of different things are happening in Q1. As you see right there, the map has been reset. 15 minutes is on the clock. Danny Rick is going to come out this session being the leader in Q1. Lewis Hamilton second and Max Verstappen third. And Sainz fourth. Albon in the top 5. I like that a lot. This track, these conditions could bring about, if these same conditions were to happen again on race Sunday, this could bring about a very intriguing race. It could. All right, now, of course, we get a better picture by Q3, but still, we'll see what happens there. Definitely see what happens there. A little bit surprised. Again, take a look at the chart as of FP3. Take a look at that. Well, Paul, Super Chat, Paul says, want to get a Kleenex on the horn again for Russell. Pretty sure he's about to start crying pretty hard. Listen, Russell about to start crying. And then he going to say, ta-ta, I think it feels like rain. And his visor going to fog up. And he probably going to run back to the trailer like a bobblehead. That's probably might be what's about to happen. Paul, I'm trying to tell you. He's about to get the cry horn out for real. Oh, my gosh, man. That was kind of, I ain't going to lie, that was surprising. So new drop-off zone has been set. We got the McLaren, the Papaya squad, 11 and 13th. Can they come out of there? Stroll surprisingly not eliminated and outperform Alonso in the last minute in the clutch right there for Q1. Alonso back in the drop-off zone if he ends up staying there. Logan Sargeant not out in Q1, which is an accomplishment for him. Hulk in the top 6, which is continuing to polish his resume for when he leaves Haas. Yuki at 8 would have been awesome for him, but Danny Rick in 2, which I do think a bit of Danny Rick's situation is maybe conditions on the track happen to be just right, just on the tail end of that session, but we'll see. I'm not going to take it from Danny Rick just yet. I'm going to give him some time to prove it to us and say, hey, this is really real. This is not fake. This is real what I'm doing. I'm gonna let Danny Rick have some grace right here. I think he's had enough grace, but I'm going to let him have a little bit of grace. Lando Norris almost, getting a speeding pit lane ticket right there. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, my gosh, man. So we'll see. We're going to see what happens with Danny Rick, see what he got going on. Danny Rick is still a project that hadn't fared well, okay? One moment for Danny Rick in Q1 is not saying much for Danny Rick, but I will say I'm not going to take it from Danny Rick. He popped to the top of the charts. I'm going to give him his accolades just like anybody else. But let's see what happens, because if my memory and if stats serve me correctly, just thinking, I'm just thinking here about Danny Rick and his performance. But as of right now, Daniel Ricciardo is 13th. Yuki is 12th. Yuki leading him by at least 9 points total there. And as it would sit, Danny Rick's performance throughout the season. Let's look at this. Danny Rick, 0 points in Bahrain. Danny Rick, 0 points in Secure. Danny Rick, 0 points in Australia. Danny Rick, 0 points in Japan. Danny Rick, 0 points in China. Danny Rick, 5 points in Miami. Danny Rick, 0 points in Emilia. Danny Rick, 0 points in Monaco. Danny Rick, 4 points in Canada. Danny Rick, 0 points in Spain. Austria, 2 points. And here we are, Great Britain, 0. That's a lot of 0. That's a lot of 0 for anybody that wants to try to start bolstering up Danny Rick as a hero. That's a lot of damn zeros. I'm just saying, that's a lot of zeros. So if you're thinking about trying to pump up Danny Rick as some hero right now, you might want to pump your brakes, because it might be a big-ass crow humble pie waiting for you, okay? It might be waiting for you, because if I read Yuki's off, it ain't going to sound nothing like that. Yuki, 0 points in Bahrain, 0 points in Secure. Saudi, 6 points in Australia, a point in Japan, 0 points in China, 7 points in Miami, 1 point in Emilia, 4 points in Monaco, 0 points in Canada, 0 points in Spain, 0 points in Austria, and 1 point in Great Britain. Don't sound nothing like Danny Rick. So if you want to start bolstering up Danny Rick, you might just want to pump your brakes. I'm just saying, chill out a little bit, because the stats ain't helping you much. They're not helping you much. But I tell you what, let's keep the same energy for Q2. Let's do that. Let's keep the same energy for Q2. How about that? Keep the same energy, because Danny Rick right now is in the drop-off zone. He's in the drop-off zone right now. 11 minutes. He got a lot of time to do well. If Danny Rick is at the top of the charts in Q3, hats off to him. How about next race? We'll see what happens. Logan Sargeant right now outperforming Danny Rick. Yuki in 7th. The leader, the number 1 driver of Red Bull Visa Cash App. The number 1 driver who's outperformed several other drivers put up against him. Let's see what happened. Against a driver who's been team hopping like a whore. All right, from Red Bull to Renault to McLaren, and now back to the junior team of Red Bull. Come on, y'all. Chill out. Chill out. When you start breaking up stats, it don't look that good, does it? Oh, my gosh. Self-made maintenance. I call Lewis car 44 on pole and the win. Merck needs to keep pushing till the end of the season. Big ups, Wolfpack family. Jay still rising, my brother. Big shout out. Big shout out to you, brother. Paul in the chat says Ricciardo just hit the lap at perfect time. That's what I was thinking. Track evolution. But, you know, some people just want to take off. Make sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Thank you very much, Paul. Hey, I'm just saying, I want them to keep the same energy in Q2. Keep the same energy in Q3. I'm going to give you your credit. I'm going to give Danny Rick all the credit he deserves. If at Q3, he is even in the top 5. If Danny Rick's even in the top 5, I'm giving him a hand clap and a attaboy. I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give it to him. Right now, Yuki is 6. Where's Danny Rick? 15th. He gonna get out on track and do something. Oh my gosh, Max Verstappen in number 1, Lewis Hamilton number 2, and Sainz in number 3. Could we have a very mixed top 3 in this race? And I like that. I like that. I like when we got mixed teams, mixed good, awesome drivers in the top 3. It gives us more to look forward to on Sunday. It really does, okay? I think it's time for another poll chat right now. You all say that it is not possible that McLaren go out in Q2. 58% said no. Meanwhile, McLaren, Piastri's in 2. Lando is in 13th. So we'll see what happens. Yo, they could return to form. Remember, in FP3, here they are. 1 and 2. All right? 1 and 2 in FP3. So we will see what happens. Albon's got to get out of there. Albon's got to get out of there. But I would like to say Logan Sargeant is doing a better job as of right now in qualifying. And if Albon goes out and Sargeant makes it to Q3, another person that's going to get a hands clap from me. I give credit when credit is due. Paul says, Max Verstappen on new tires, Lewis on old tires. Big shout out. Listen, trust me, Paul is keeping like look on all that shit. Big shout out to the drivers that gave us a phenomenal Wolfpack grudge race this past Sunday. If you weren't in it or you missed it, you missed the time to be watched. Derwin Hill, Kev, Racer X210, all honey buns sent out. Phenomenal job, guys. Phenomenal job. Here we are, Max Verstappen. Hey, he can park it for right now. We got 7 minutes. They're going to do some things going on, get it all adjusted. Lewis Hamilton in 7th. Pia and Norris right now in the top 5 for the McLaren boys, right, for the McLaren team, for the Papaya crew. We're going to see if that keeps improving as the track improves. We'll see if that keeps improving for McLaren. Charles finally ahead of Sainz right there. Sainz is still going to be locking in a few more segments to see if that's going to be something that's going to stay the same or change. So we will see what happens there. He's got about 3 more segments in that sector 3 to complete right there. Alonso now in front of Stroll, which is typical fashion of what we've been accustomed to see throughout. Sainz popping 2-3, leading Team Ferrari to where we would like to see them go. You know, if we see Ferrari said they supposed to be, reemerge this weekend, hoping to see them get back on track because they've been off track for some time. So we are looking to hopefully see a Ferrari on the podium at the end of Sunday race. We're looking at finale. We should be looking at Ferrari on the podium. I am hoping to see Ferrari on the podium. If not, Ferrari, this is what their season might be looking like right here. The season could be wrecked. And we'll see if that continues on or what's going to happen there. Right now, teams in the garage getting ready to go in, make these changes. Lewis Hamilton currently in 8th. No need for Russell, no need for Perez. Both those drivers are gone. Stroll in 7th. Yuki in 10th, while Ricciardo is in 15th. Old Danny Rick in 15th. See what's going to go on there. Big shout out to Maria Duncan popping in the chat. What's up, Maria? A Condu popping in the chat. Fam pouring in right now as we are in our second session of qualifying. Hey, I'm going to be in here. When we get done, I'm going to have to get off because I got to get everything loaded, get this thing worked out, get these tires on. But I am enjoying this as it sits right now. I don't think we need to say anything else about what we're seeing right now. This kind of looks, it kind of looks good. Hulk could be out of there now. If we see K-Mag outperform Hulk, which K-Mag is going to be out of Team Haas this season. This is his last season with Haas. Nowhere to go just yet. I'm not sure if he's going to find somewhere to go. Komatsu did say he would like to work with K-Mag in a different capacity, but not as a driver and team principal format. More maybe like a consultant format. So we'll see. I think he does have things to offer for Haas in that capacity. I would give that to K-Mag. I just think this has been a bit of a disappointing time for him in Formula One, where I expected a bit more from him, but those things happen. Reality meeting, your hypothesis or your hypotheticals or your expectations can be very vastly different. And right now, I did not see K-Mag's season going as such. I saw K-Mag's season maybe being more like Hulk's season, and that is not the case. So, Danny Rick's still in the pits. Nothing moving yet. Danny Rick is out. So, yeah, there we go. Danny Rick is out. So, anybody that had a bunch of hype and position for Danny Rick, maybe this is why you hold your horses. Danny Rick now is coming back in. See what's going to happen here. Danny Rick still with opportunity. The drop-off zone is at 3 minutes. He still has opportunity to get out of there and make it into Q3. If he makes it into Q3, he's got a chance. He's got a chance to make it to the top of the charts and beat Max Verstappen in time. We'll see. We'll see what happens. See what happens. All these cars are getting fired up. They're about to go out. This is game time right here. Q3 is coming. Chips being pushed to the center of the table is about to be underway. So a lot of things to be said right now about how this is going to go. Remember, I am looking for the Papaya squad to mirror what they did in FP3, because honestly, I am completely on board for Piastri getting his race win. I am completely on board for that. I'm completely on board for Lewis Hamilton getting another race win. Completely on board for that. So we'll see what happens. I'm even on board. I'm even on board for Alonso getting a podium. I know you didn't think I was going to say race win. There it goes again. Haas being stuck out. We're going to see if they squawk as much as they do, since their tires, not being on that line just yet, if they're going to squawk about trying to get in there. Woo! Charles almost clipping the garage on the way out. That, I would have went crazy on Charles for that. Bro, you wrecking out on track. You wrecking coming out the garage. Ferrari. Charles. Oof. I mean, that was really close. Close, but didn't touch, so doesn't count, but it was really close. Haas is getting cooked right now. Haas is getting cooked in the pits. They are getting cooked right now. Blocked up with traffic. It's underneath 2 minutes. They got to be able to try to get out on track. Hulk needs it more than K-Mag right now. K-Mag might need it as other drivers out on track about to lay down some times. It's looking tough for Haas right now. It is looking tough for Haas. They got to get out there. Oh, my gosh. It's looking tough. Let's also not forget. Woo, Matt. Woo, Lewis Hamilton going around like, boo, get out the way. Get out the way. Lewis Hamilton said, I'm on my shit right now. I'm in my bag. He said, I'm in my bag right now. What are y'all talking about? Get out my way. Lewis Hamilton right now popping up to 6, improving just a little bit, not as much as he was earlier. Now, keep in mind, I did say this. Inclement weather goes well with Lewis Hamilton. He is the rain master. Track is drying up, is evolving. Can he make it on merit in the top 3? Can we see Lewis Hamilton in the top 3? Yuki right now going back to 11, getting kicked out by K-Mag, going up to 10th. Let's go. Albon at 9th. Leclerc. Logan Sargeant in the 10 right now. Let's go, Logan. Let's go, Logan. Hey, bro, I still think you should lose your job, but I like what I'm seeing, and it didn't last long. Okay, good job, Logan. Way to go. Albon, Leclerc. Here we go. You know, why being a Logan fan is such a roller coaster. Matter of fact, being a Logan fan is a roller coaster that you see on social media where everything's messed up and they're stuck upside down, stuck in a loop, stuck at the top. That's what's going on. Woo! So, there we go, Charles. There we go. Charles, I should say, joining Carlos in the top 5. Lando Norris taking top position. Here we go. Papaya Squad is waking up. They are waking up. Wakey, eggs and bakey. Which I would like some eggs and bacon right now, honestly. I'm a bit hungry. I could go for that right now. Oh, yeah, there we go. Listen, I'm telling you right now, Hamilton is risking being out. He's in the pit. I'm not even sure it was okay to go in. Had Mercedes called him in? I mean, that's risky, bro. That is risky to be in pits in 10th. Yo. There's no time on the clock. Yo, man, I'm just saying what's going to happen right here. All right. There it is. Okay, that I don't know what in the hell happened right there. I don't know if there was no opportunity that Lewis could have got another lap in, a registered lap, but that is too close for comfort. That is too close for comfort. So as it sits right there, Albon does outperform Logan Sargeant, but not enough to not go home in the motorhome with him, play some 2024 F1. Team Haas will also play some 2024 F1. Valtteri will join Zhou, but Zhou is already warmed up on the stick, so he's going to have to catch up. Yuki outperforms Danny Rick in Q2. Yuki outperforms Danny Rick in Q2, both making it to Q3. Just saying, anybody want to get in there and talk major cap trash now? Okay, I'm not sure. It's probably going to get a little quiet. Probably going to shut the up. Don't say nothing. You know, but he's still got a chance. He's still got a chance to get that pole position. Danny Rick still got a chance. Okay. But I am still very pleased with both teammates in that team making it into Q3. I think that is a good accomplishment for Red Bull Visa Cash App. Also, Lance Stroll leading Alonso by 1 position, but Aston Martin in the Q3. Ferrari in the Q3. Teammates coupled up. Teammates alone, very vast gap between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton from 2nd to 10. But again, Max Verstappen finding himself in a papaya sandwich, and he's the meat. Papaya sandwich, Max Verstappen's caught in the middle of that. So that, and I'm telling you right now, Piastri behind Max is not Lando behind Max. Just telling you, Piastri behind Max is not Lando behind Max. So I do got to ask y'all a question. I got to ask you a question. A lot of you had Lewis Hamilton for pole. Some of you said not today. I got to ask you. Ha, he mad. Logan, he mad. Logan Sargeant mad. He mad as hell right now. Bro, you don't be mad. Logan, don't waste your energy being mad about something that's not gonna change your future. It's okay to be mad and competitive, but bro, it couldn't do nothing about that. All right, here we go. Poll in the chat. Dance on it, vote on it, do whatever you want to do on it. We in Q3. Do you still have LH for poll? I do, or still no? Yo. Hey, I'm telling you, I am looking for this. I am looking for this right now. We're not too far off from what we saw in FP3. Both Papaya Crew, 1 and 2, Max Verstappen, 3. Russell is out at 4. Lewis Hamilton is again in the position he was at the end of FP3, 10th. Okay? Ferrari now have coupled up. Alonso and Stroll have now joined the party. And we did have both Red Bull, Visa, Cash App cars in the top 10. And we do have that right now. So we're looking at a similar picture of FP3 unfolding itself right now in Q3. Can this still be the case? None of these drivers are going to be at risk of being eliminated anymore. Magnussen, Stroll, Sargeant, Albon, Valtteri, and Hulk have done that for us. Top 10 is top 10. But can we see where this is going to finish out? Are we going to have a coupling of teammates as we see them right now in these positions? Is Lewis Hamilton going to stay at the bottom at the top 10? If that's the case, it's going to be a very difficult day for him. But surely I believe Lewis Hamilton can get past Ricciardo and Yuki, going up to 7th. He's going to have a little bit of some time with the Aston Martins, but I think he can get past those two. But then is his ceiling 6th? If Ferrari is back on their grind, if Ferrari is back to where they can be in competitive form, the second fastest car on the grid, is Lewis Hamilton's ceiling with Mercedes 6th? Or can he work his way through the Ferrari boys and into a 4th position, and possibly, depending on what happened with the top 3, pit stop strategy, driver error, will he be on podium for the 2nd time back-to-back after a race win? These are questions that we could all ask, and valid questions that should be asked, and answers to these questions will be given to us momentarily. All right, the clock is at 12 minutes. It has been reset. 10 drivers are gone. 10 drivers move on. Now let's see who's going to grab pole position. Let's see who's going to be 2nd and 3rd, and then in the top 5, we'll see what goes from there. See what goes from there. I'm going to say something. I do like Ruth. I do like Ruth. I have thoroughly enjoyed the addition of Ruth into the cast, into Formula One, her perspective, her mannerism, her ability to stand on her ground. I like Ruth as an addition. Laura Winters, to me, can do like Winter does most times. Please come and go. I don't really enjoy Laura Winters. The other young lady who just came in, kind of, I think she's guest. They're doing different guests every race. Yeah, but Laura Winters to me is just whatever. But Ruth is a banger to me. Ruth is like on point in all fronts. She's got a sense of humor. She could be serious. Her perspective and her knowledge to the game, her standing on a point, boxing it out with either Lawrence or Palmer or Alex or Jacques, any one of those. She just really holds a good position. I really have enjoyed her input. I don't know what she's like as a person outside the track, but I do know that I think that she's been a good addition to the cast, to the crew, and I've enjoyed her. So, yo, Ruth, if you ever listen, if anybody ever says something or tags you in something, I just want to say, hey, welcome aboard, and I hope they keep you because you do a phenomenal job to me. All right, so listen, it is right now. I don't think we got any rain conditions. Track, I think it's cool. If it is start, what do we got right here? Let's look at our Doppler right here. We got 59% humidity, so it has dropped. We got less winds, due northwest now. Track temp has increased. Air temp, not so much. Pressure is 98.3, so we will see where we are going to sit shortly because this is game time. This is game time right here, people. This is it right here. All the chips are being pushed to the center of the table. All the chips are being pushed to the center of the table. I am running close on time, but I am going to make it through with the fam for this qualifying because this could get pretty exciting as we enter Q3 and get to the business. Max Verstappen's on the radio. Is Max Verstappen going to keep pole position? That's another question. All right, let's go. Red Bull Visa Cash App card moving a little slow for the papaya. So it is being reported that we have rain in 5 minutes. So rain in 5 minutes puts us dead in the middle of this session, which usually cars are coming in anyway about that time to make adjustments. And I'm going to say this. Many of you If rain comes in 5 minutes, which is usually when cars come in to make their changes, many of you might be proven right. 61% of you said still no, which you still could be right. But if you take into account Lewis Hamilton, inclement weather, in the rain, at a track that he favors, with cars coming out on the final part of Q3 session, it's very possible that Lewis could grab pole position. Now, what's going to happen on race day without rain, we'll see. Because we already know Max Verstappen on hard tires, Lewis on the course, aging softs as he got on them early, Max was covering ground. But it wasn't like it was like that. But throughout the course of an entire race, if Max Verstappen's in second in a Red Bull car, which is still dominant, still very powerful, a Mercedes car that is making a turn around the ugly bend, it's going to be difficult to say another race win is in the foe unless just other elements come into play. So I'm going to end this right here because we're going to keep this on account. We're going to keep this on record right here. All right, 43% said you still do have Lewis Hamilton for pole. 56% said you still say not today. We'll see what happens. All right. Max Verstappen right now holds pole position. Can somebody take it from him? That's what we want to know. That's what we're going to be waiting to see. 8 minutes. Remember, 5 minutes is the countdown where we're supposed to see some rain come in. Lewis Hamilton coming up to third. Lewis Hamilton coming up to third. Okay? There we go. Leclerc taking that position away from Lewis to go to third in the Ferrari. Ooh, things are changing. Things are changing. Alonso not able to make it into the top 3, but he does go up to 5th. All right, so it's still some opportunity in here. Still some opportunity here, people. Yuki up to 7th. Danny Rick in 10th. Danny Rick in 10th. Still can finish up. Lando Norris. Let's go. Papaya squad. 2 pole position. Whoa, by 3/10 almost. By 3/10. Where is Oscar now? Oscar, let's do something. Come on, Oscar. Let's do something. Come on. Come on, Oscar. Come on, Oscar. Can he do something? Damn, Oscar ain't doing shit. He in the pit. He done. Damn. Gonna make a change and come out. Can Oscar do something, man? I got excited. I saw Lando pop. I said, Oscar got to pop. Oscar does not pop right now, but he still got a chance. 6 minutes left on this clock. Yo, this is looking good. This is looking competitive. This is looking competitive. Teams are in the pit a bit earlier than they typically would be. They're trying to make sure they take the most advantage of the situation before the track goes wet. Because at that point in time, it's very unlikely that you're going to set a time that's going to beat slick tire time in a track that's likely dry. So right now is where they got to make things happen, okay? They're bolting on probably new softs. Are they bolting on inters? Can they get them out there for another opportunity? This is what needs to happen. We're 1 minute away from where they said rain's going to come. Oscar made a mistake right there. But listen, DRS will be gone. Oh, man, this is critical. Not only for that team, but Lewis Hamilton as well. Very critical for Lewis Hamilton as well to be able to do something in a moment where the track is at its driest right now. Man, this is a little oof. Yo, hey, Lando Norris has the upside right now by 3/10. That's going to be hard in wet conditions, even for Max Verstappen. But if he can make it happen, he can make it happen. If anybody can make it happen, it's Max. or Lewis Hamilton. They're not even talking about Alonso right now. And I think Max is going to come back out. He's going to come back out on a new set of softs. They got to put this time in. Lewis Hamilton has got to put it in. Pia's got to get it in. Lando can't think that he's unnecessarily safe right now. Okay, we're under 5 minutes. This is where rain is supposed to come in. Soft tires are being mounted. They are going out on softs. Is the rain going to hold or is it going to drop? Jeez, man. This is a crazy situation right here. Because if rain drops with 3 minutes left, let's go. Let's just go. Let's see what happens. All right, I'm about to put a new poll up for sure. All right, let's say all right, here we go. Poll in the chat as we are nearing the final minutes of qualifying Q3. Piastri is coming across. Come on. Let's go, Pia. What can you do, dog? You got to get this moment in on these slick tires. Paul says Merc and Red Bull only teams without teammates in Q3. True. Yep. That is true. Come on, Piastri. Looking strong. Piastri looking strong, baby. Let's go. Piastri with the fast. Come on. Let's go, Pia. Let's go, Pia. Don't screw up. No track limits. Come on. He's looking good. He's looking strong. We just need the time to be right. Pia, 2. Let's go. Okay. All right. Let's go, Pia. We working. Come on now. Max is working on something. Sainz is up to 4th. Max is working on cooking something up. You got purple sector 1, green sector 2. Sector 2 time, not as good as Pia's time, but for sure, sector 1 was. What will Max do? Come on. He still got time. Pia also still has time. He still got time. Max does not improve. Max is still stuck at 3. Right now, we do have a mirroring image of the top 3 with Lando, Pia, and Max Verstappen. It is holding true. What happened in FP3 is happening in Q3. But can they close the book and this be the story that is written for qualifying? Max is on a roll. He is trying to do what he can do. Max is going for it. Oh, red flag, Yuki! Oh, my gosh! Red, oh my gosh, Yuki wrecks it. Absolutely screws the pooch. Oh, we got a red flag. Be prepared for craziness to happen. 2 minutes left. We got a red flag. This is likely going to take us longer than 5 minutes. Rain could drop. What have we just been able to see? But the thing is this, even if the rain drops, being on inters in the rain is not going to bring us 115 times. Yuki is out. Hamilton likely could be stuck at 5. At best, improve. I don't even know if he can improve on inters in the wets with these times. Lando and Pia might have just locked out the front row. And Yuki was looking like he was pushing on a lap too. Oh, man. Oh, that was nasty. That was like sideways in the air, nasty. Oh, that was, the Formula One sign got out of there. Rear wing damn near hanging off. The car is just mangled. Yuki has just mangled this car. Oh, my goodness. That was ugly. Whoa. What place is Ricciardo in, Crow Pie? Ricciardo is in 10th place, not in pole position. Yo, does anybody want to keep the same energy about Ricciardo being all great and just at the top of the list? Does anybody want to come in to the live chat and keep that same energy? And I do want to say this. Yuki is out, right? Yuki's out. Is there any possibility that Ricciardo, while still being active in Q3 and Yuki Tsuki being out, can Ricciardo outperform Yuki while he's not even in the Q3 session? If that doesn't happen, even if that does happen, Ricciardo ain't even in the top 5 while somebody was talking all that yum shit. Go ahead, get rid of the filet mignon, the fries that you had, okay, the asparagus, the red wine, put it to the side, get ready for Crow Humble Pie, and Danny Rick not in top 5. Danny Rick not on pole position. Yeah. You know what? I need water. I need water for this Crow Pie. This shit is tart. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Rinse it down with some water. All right, rinse it down with some water. All right, what we got? Galactus says, Yuki went airborne. He got wings. Red Bull, it gives you wings. Evidently, he can't be sued this time because Yuki was just the good old boys. Dukes of Hazzard type shit. That was man, you know I'm going to have that picture. You know I'm going to have that picture to go along with our Charles Leclerc compilation. Yo, we got soft compound tires going out again. These teams are hustling to get this in, yo. They are lining up right now. Man. Yo, this crash by Yuki. Damn it. It's ugly. Yuki car is mangled. Oh my gosh, that car is absolutely mangled. I mean, that car is trashed. Yo, Galactus, bro, you might have called it for Sunday, bro. We are likely going to have a red flag for Sunday. Galactus might have called this. Yuki is so upset with himself. I think he's crying. He don't even want to hear from the marshals or nothing. I think he's crying right now. That was bad. That was horrible. That was horrible. Damn, man. 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes on this clock. The rain has not fallen to the point yet. Drivers are getting out of their car. It is red flag conditions. We're going to be beyond 5 minutes with this. Will rain drop? What's going to happen? They got cars lined up in pit lane waiting to go out. McLaren and Mercedes have both McLaren, one Mercedes, have lined up at the front of pit lane on soft tires. I mean, if it starts raining and you got to go inners, you're not doing better times than you were doing on softs on a dry track. So it's nothing to lose there, but possibly, pampering the car around the track and being stuck at where your time is. Yo, P has already been told that you need to start this lap. So you need to get it in. Be ready to go. Right now, Papaya Crew front row lockout is looking good. Like I said, it does mirror what we saw FP3, Lando, Pia, and Verstappen right there. Lewis Hamilton almost taking that spot where Russell is, but you flip those two positions. We pretty much got, a mirrored team top 5, not complete with the drivers, but we do have a mirrored top 3 with drivers included from FP3. So, some truth telling right there out of FP3 into Q3 on where these teams and these drivers and these cars really sit. They are walking the track right now to get things cleared up, to make sure they got all debris cleared, don't want to have punctures, don't want to have anything like that happen. And Yo, let's get this thing on. Let's get this thing on and popping. Let's get it on and popping. I feel like I need some popcorn right now. 5 minutes time, rain. When is this going to be clear? There, I mean, right now, the Papaya squad is completely a little bit stress free having a front row lockout. Now, maybe Peel wants to try to grab that pole position to get it in for himself so he has the best opportunity to try to win a race. Maybe not. Don't know. Lewis Hamilton definitely has something he wants to improve upon. He wants to be in that top three as close as he can get. Right now, he's at 5. And Sainz wants to keep his position or improve. And Charles definitely wants to. Aston Martin, I don't think that they have enough to even be competitive with these top 4 teams. Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari. I don't think there's anything right now. Lewis Hamilton has his gloves off. He's chilling. You know what I'm saying? Not stressing it out. He's going to be able to go when he can go. And we'll see what's going to happen. Max is not even in the car right now. He's chilling for real. Max Verstappen, like, I'm just going to walk around and chill. I mean, Max can kind of do that because, I mean, Max can probably right now go take a bathroom break, maybe go to hospitality, say hello to a couple of fans, maybe get something to eat, and still come back and lay a hot lap because that's what he does. The only thing right now is Max has been heavily challenged in these last few races. Other teams have done a better job at improving these cars versus last season. And these drivers are able to have a machine that they can literally challenge with. And that is what we're seeing right now, especially in McLaren. Not so much confirmed on Mercedes, although drivers back-to-back wins and have been doing better. I think we need a bit more body of work from Mercedes before we say, yeah, they are up there. They're going to do it, at least this part of the season and on. Aston Martin, I think we're going to see more of what we saw from Aston Martin last time. This time, they're going to fall off well before the back half of the season even started, and I don't expect much from them. If we have much from them, good. Hey, big shout out Galactus. You see me wearing Butterfly Racing merch right here. Good luck to Little Speed Racer. You got the glow. Yes, yes, yes. We do got the glow, man. And it's gonna be a very challenging time. Like I said, we're expecting rain all morning so far. We are expecting rain later on this evening, which we will be racing later part of the afternoon, early part of the afternoon into the later part of the evening. So this time I'm gonna try to, just we're gonna try some different tire temps. Unable to get out to the track as much as this weekend. Friday, unable to get out to the track Friday. Had my nephew with me, trying to spend time with him and enjoyed my time with my little nephew. Smart kid. Definitely, he likes pizza. Took him to a very nice pizza spot. And just to watch his face light up was just very phenomenal to me. I took him, we watched airplanes land and come in. It was a good time. Matter of fact, I got a video. We watched the airplane land and come in, and it was just to see his face. Just to see his face. Just look at the excitement on him when he sees this plane go overhead. He was just so excited. He's just so excited. It's just when you see kids like that, because you never know what moments like that can do for a kid as far as their dreams and alter their mind frame on things that they want to get interested in or get involved in. And, it's just a phenomenal time to be able to spend that time with him. He and I just chilling and, take it. It's just time that you gotta spend. Even as an uncle, you gotta put that time in because you never know what you do and how it might rub off on them. And them seeing ultimate support from other people in the family, it means a lot. It means a lot. So, and it meant a lot for him to have a good time with me. So it was just great. And so yeah. He's a phenomenal kid. Awesome kid. Love him. Love him to death. For real. All right, so here it is. We got track clear. We're on the red flag conditions. Track is clear now. It is time to get this Q3 session sealed and in the books. Let's see what we're gonna ultimately get out of here, out of the top 3, see where that's ultimately going to be. I'm ready for it now. And like Daniel Ricciardo is 10th. What the hell is going on right now? Is what's going on right there? I'm gonna wait and see what the hell's going on right now because we might be seeing something. Now remember, we're looking to see if Ricciardo is going to be able to beat the time of Yuki while Yuki is not on track. The car is mangled. Can Yuki hold that position, or can Danny Rick, while having the opportunity Yuki does not have, go out on track, still on softs, at the front of traffic? Because I think he's just behind Lando coming out on track. Does he improve? And, I can't even say he outperforms Yuki because Yuki's not out there, but can he do a better time than Yuki while Yuki does not have the opportunity to improve up on his time? If he can't, that's whipped cream on the humble crow pie. Because right now you already got crow pie. Danny Rick's top in the 10th position while a lot of shit was being talked while he had momentary, voluntary, donated pole position, or at least P1 at the point in time in Q1, which was, crazy for you to just dive off the mountain and think you was going to come up here and talk crazy. But right now he's in 10th. So get ready to put some whipped cream on that crow humble pie if he can't even outperform Yuki's time while Yuki's not even on track. It's going to be funny. All right. Here we go. Out on softs. Hamilton's going to try to improve. Everybody's trying to improve, not just Hamilton. But Hamilton definitely wanting to improve, put himself in a better position. My bad, y'all. I didn't go to sleep till after midnight, and then I woke up just before 3 a.m. So bear with me. Also making some updates to the baby's cart because in the rain she told me she was slipping, so made some adjustments and some updates to her steering wheel to put some non-skid padding on her steering wheel in various places to hopefully help her hold on to that car. Max Verstappen's car is not even started. I haven't even seen that he's come back. He walked out and has not returned through the garage, at least to my viewpoint. Sainz is at 0. Alonso's at 0. Yuki, of course, is at 0. Max Verstappen's at 0. So I don't even know if they're going to worry about bringing Max back out. That's a wrap. I don't think Max is going to be worried about coming back out. He's got his position. He's in 3rd. I don't think, honestly, he felt he probably could have outperformed Team McLaren anyway, especially, right there. I don't even think he was too much worried about that. He's in top 3. I'm pretty sure he feels confident that with the pace of the Red Bull car, but not too confident because the pace of the McLaren has been nice. But, he knows in this position, P3, he's going to have a pretty good chance at either winning this race or being on podium. Like, come on. Even if you don't like Red Bull and Max, we're just talking about strictly the data in the proof. Danny Rick does improve above Tsunoda while he's not on track. There you go, Danny Rick, 9th. Time's done, and he goes to 9th. Yeah, go eat some crow pie. Go eat crow pie. Next time, wait on it. I don't know if you've ever seen Fast and the Furious, the first one. But, yeah. Jesse goes out there in that Volkswagen and just risk it all. The dad built Volkswagen and says he's going to beat Chan. And, Paul Walker, tries to stop him. Tries to stop Jesse from going out there doing something foolish. Jesse goes out there, thinks he's got the hot shit, black fingernails and all, pushes the nitrous. Chan says, you know what? Too soon. Ace 2000, Spoon Motors, built in Japan, and beats his ass. And Jesse has a nervous breakdown. So, yeah, that pretty much was what, people just did, thinking that Ricciardo was going to have pole position. It just was phenomenally more better than he has been. He outperforms Yuki's time because Yuki's off track. So, yeah, great. Good job. There it is. Lando, pole position. Pia in 2nd. Front row lockout for the Papaya crew. Max Verstappen in 3rd. Sainz in 4th. Hamilton 5th. Leclerc 6th. And so on. There you go, peeps. There you go. And I have to get into the garage and start getting things together. So big shout out Wolfpack out. Peace. See y'all for race day Sunday.